Hey, everybody, it's the coach. This is the NFL on EA Sports. Up next, we've got what ought to be a great matchup between the Oakland Raiders and the Chicago Cougars. I'll be back with you again with scores around the league at halftime. But kickoff right around the corner. And standing by to call the action, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, much appreciated, Coach, as we welcome all of you to our exclusive coverage of the National Football League on EA Sports. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Oakland Raiders and the Chicago Cougars. Along with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Godden. And Charles, you take a look at our home side as we enter play here. They come in playing pretty good football, winners of 4 of their last 6 games.
And they had it easy last week. They jumped out to an early lead and then put it on cruise control from there.
On the other side of the field for the visiting Raiders, they come in the midst of a pretty bad stretch here, losers of 5 straight.
So many different reasons teams hit the losing skids, but the best way out of it, something has to happen positive early in the game.
Here we go. The final week of the NFL season, Week 17, is underway. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So here comes the Raiders offense now onto the field. They're led out by their quarterback out of Fresno State, Derek Carr.
If you just break it down in individual terms, he played really well last week. 0 interceptions, 3 touchdown passes. Could have done to win that game, but you know something's funny when we talked to him, all he focused on were throws he missed, other opportunities that didn't get done.
Good sign of a leader.
Great sign of a leader because they didn't win, and that's all he cares about.
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. Now Carr, nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Come on, Lon.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to screen soon.
To throw is Carr. Under pressure again, and down he goes again.
We've watched this a long time, and I still don't believe we get it. 3rd and long, why are you calling play action?
Yeah, because they're not going to bite defensively, right?
No, not at all. I did have a coach explain to me years ago that for some teams, that's how they have to deal with pass protection and their line blocking, but to me it seems silly.
Yeah, well, they're silly, and it leads to a play-action sack. Great blocking on the return. It springs him for 25. And this offense, they're going to have excellent field position. They take over with a 1st and 10 on the short side of the field.
Watch the pass. Watch the pass.
On 1st down, Swift. And shedding the tackle, and now some room. And he's going to get this down near the 30-yard line. 16 yards is the pickup there, and a 1st down for Chicago. Well, CD, a lot of times like to separate speed and quickness, and they've got a back that's both. We know that he's fast in the open field, but, man, his first step is so quick, too.
It is something, isn't it? Because you think of that type of speed getting to the perimeter and turning upfield, but also when you run those inside runs, he can get into the secondary so fast the linebackers don't have a chance to react.
Right there, 54 Mike. 3 buzz.
On 2nd down, Swift. And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. He went backwards 7 yards, setting up a tough 3rd down.
54 is Mike. 54.
To throw on 3rd down, Bryant flush to his right. That's caught. It's Thomas. And he will reach the 5-yard line before going out of bounds. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Set hut. Set the plan. Mike's 5-4. I'm coming after you. I'm coming up.
They'll run with Smallwood. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Chicago. Wendell Smallwood. His 3rd touchdown now on the year, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. An ideal start for them, really. You force the punt, and then you go down and score.
And you've got to see a fist pump on the sideline from the head coach, don't you? Because he's turned into his bench, and he's telling his team, this is how we prepare. Force the punt, go downfield and score. I told you guys, it's just like a boxer in the gym preparing for the fight. Now we get to turn it all loose.
This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now the Oakland offense heading back onto the field to take over. The partner just looking at some of the struggles they've had this season. The playoffs are not in their future. As they start to peer toward the offseason, what moves might they make?
I think the running back position, and I know we talk all the time about the NFL being a passing league, but the teams that run the ball effectively, they're the ones that go deep into the playoffs and go to the Super Bowl. They have to upgrade here. And you and I both know in recent years in the draft, people have shied away from taking a runner early, but if there's that special one there, I say they go get him.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. High. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That backs him up 1 yard and brings up 3rd down. Plays like we just saw there, that's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out, because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game, and that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield, not necessarily.
And is this intercepted? It is. It's intercepted. Picked off by Janoris Jenkins. Oh, not a good omen there. His first throw of the afternoon, intercepted.
And I know what the fans are thinking right now. I hope there's not negative thoughts in his head going forward, since that's his first throw of the game. But one of the things I remember about him coming out of school is he's able to wipe things away pretty easily and move on.
That one goes for 24 yards. They'll run on 1st down. Swift. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. A good run there on 1st down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2. And he is in. Touchdown, Chicago. A 13-yard touchdown run. And his guys are going to add on to their lead. So they're down in the red zone. They opt to utilize his legs instead of the arm. It works out pretty well.
I like what they were thinking there, because in most situations now, defense is accounting for all the other runners on the field and, of course, for pass plays. But the quarterback position, oftentimes it is
And all he takes off with it, it's a fake. There he goes left side. And he is into the end zone to bump the lead up 2 more.
All right, partner, one more time. Our whole lives, you put the ball on the 3-yard line, kick the extra point. 2015, they put it on the 15 to kick the extra point. 2016, they said, we're leaving it there. So if you want to fake it, that's a long way to go. And they got it done.
I was going to say, they had a 15-yard play in their back pocket.
You don't see that on too many play sheets, do you?
No. Derek Carr getting set and ready to go again on offense here. The interception that led to 6 points the other way.
And when he threw the interception and he had to come to the sideline, I guarantee his first thought wasn't about the interception itself, but what could result. And I know he was thinking to himself, come on, defense, bail me out. Well, they weren't able to in this situation.
Rush coming, and he's taken down. Rashawn Gary in there yet again. What else is new? He continues to rewrite the record book in single-season sacks. Carr and the Raiders following the sack, looking up at a 3rd and long. They go screen pass to Hyde. Well contained there defensively. The screen gets only a yard, and it's 4th.
They dialed up the screen pass on 3rd down, and for a second, it looked like it was all going to come together, and they had a chance to pick up a 1st down, but the defense got there and finished it off.
Here's the Raiders punter now. As the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And he'll get this away into the icy winter air. Returnable for Grant. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. And another good game here as the numbers show. We had a rare meeting with the entire offensive line this week. They were pretty ecstatic. Well, they should be ecstatic again.
And we had that meeting with them because of how they played last week. I thought it was your idea. It was brilliant to say, let's bring the big guys
You're so
in.
kind.
Well, it was true. Let's talk to the guys. How did they pull that off? Because they were so productive. No real problems in getting to the offensive backfield. They were getting downfield, getting to the second, third level, creating extra blocks. We're seeing that again this week. They are really locked in, so credit to them, but also a big credit to the offensive line coach because he's got to feel great about what he's prepared.
Absolutely. On first down, Swift, and inside the 20 before he's brought down. Another strong gain on the last two plays. They've moved it a combined 33 yards. Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. And he's going to be brought down on what will be the final play of this first quarter. 14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports.
Mike 54. I'm coming after you.
They'll try and run for it on first and goal. And he will fight his way into the end zone for a touchdown. A great play there. Touchdown number 15 of the year. And his guys find a way to stretch that lead. Lutz good on the extra point, and that makes the score 21-0. The drive summary that time, 5 plays, and it results in a 4-yard touchdown run. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Raider offense heading out as we take a look at the playoff race in the AFC. And it's all come down to this, hasn't it? Final week of the regular season. As this year's playoffs play out anything like the regular season has gone, could be in for a wild and fun month of January.
And we can break the rules because we can look ahead. All right, there's not a coach out there that's ever said to their team, all right, let's look three weeks down the road. It's always right here, right now. Forget that. Think about what the playoffs are going to look like. The teams that we see that are already in, the teams that are trying to get in, we could have some great matchups.
They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete.
I tell you, Brandon, this defense is playing with some confidence. Haven't allowed a point yet. Flying to the football. I'm telling you, it's almost 11 to the ball on every snap. Another nice job there to force an incompletion.
Throwing now is Carr. Able to find Waller. That's complete. That one will go as a gain of 11. Raiders having a first down as well.
And after that completion, you can understand why so many teams in the league are emphasizing speed on defense at every position. The tight ends have created so many tough matchups now. If you can't run with a tight end as a linebacker, this is going to be the result every time.
And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A big pickup of 38. So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. Now Carr. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Rashawn Gary picks up his second sack of the afternoon.
Well, someone's closing in on the league lead in sacks. He came into the game in the top 5. Now you add 2 more to his total.
And now whistles and a flag, and I think we got a jump here. As an inside linebacker, got to be a little bit more poised.
No doubt about it, because they get a little bit of flexibility, especially when they're trying to stuff a gap. You know, we get that double A gap look. This time we got 2.
And he's going to go down again. Luke Kuechly make that now 8 sacks for him on the season. Carr and the Raiders following the sack, looking up at a 3rd and long.
3 down. Hey, check.
Here's Carr. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Rashawn Gary getting him once again, his 3rd sack of the afternoon. Coming off the line, he's been wreaking havoc all year. And look, that's why, as a result, he's getting some looks for Defensive Player of the Year in the NFL.
And I know that many people don't have him first on their list right now, but he deserves that type of consideration. You mentioned it. All year long, he's made big plays and continues to do so. Imagine if he has a big game here. If so, he can vault himself right into the #1 spot.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. A Chicago first down there on a gain of 11. Right back to him on first down. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
You don't want that. You don't want that. Get out of here, baby.
Swift. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. Open man is Michael Thomas. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. 23 yards, the final tally. Back to throw. Bryant.
Quarterbacks love slant routes because the receivers are breaking.
And this is going to be intercepted. Snags it for the pick. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Defensively that time, they were in zone coverage. As a rookie QB, what lesson can you learn there?
Well, understand this. You saw zone in college, and the defensive backs reacted, but they don't react like they do on this level. So when they're in zone and they see the ball coming to them, they'll react at least a half a second faster. You've got to know where you want to go with the ball and be decisive with it. Otherwise, the end result can be something you don't like.
A boost here to start the drive. After the penalty, it's 1st and 5. Following the penalty, it's Hyde. And he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down. They'll come up 2nd and 6 now from the 24.
Check. Watch 54. Watch 54.
Now Hyde. And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up 3rd down. The Raiders on 3rd down. Just 1 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 9. Now Carr. Blitz coming, and down he goes.
You see me? You see
This
me?
offensive line flat out cannot handle this pass rush. We've seen it demonstrated time and time again to the tune of 7 sacks in this game thus far.
2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today.
The coach.
We get slap happy up here sometimes. That'll be a 49-yard punt, 6 yards there on the return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Around the NFL, an update from a game going on down in Tampa. And now that one really widening up. The Bucs have just scored again. I would definitely imagine we'll hear more from that game as we go along. He gets it to Thomas. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. It'll go as an impressive 31-yard gain. They'll run on 1st down. Swift. And he stopped right at the 25 after a gain of 5. And the offense moving quickly to the line. On 2nd down, Swift. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down.
Let's go. Right there.
On 1st down, Swift. He will push his way down to about the 14. The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Now a give right side. Swift. And this play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back to the 15. Now the offense going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 27 seconds remaining here in the second quarter.
Watch 54. It's our field. Let it go.
To throw on 3rd down, Bryant. And he is in. Touchdown, Chicago.
Give me the ball every
Wendell
time, fellas. I'm going to
Smallwood.
score.
He scored on the ground and through the air. And his guys are going to add on to their lead. CD, it seemed like they were so focused on the guys out wide, they forgot about him out of the backfield.
That's a really good point because you've got to communicate, and oftentimes when you start counting receivers, that's exactly what you do. You start from the widest receiver, work your way inside. Who gets lost sometimes? The back in the backfield. That's exactly what happened there.
And he got into the end zone. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take it. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. Typically down to the first half, I might say, oh, you at least need a field goal out of this drive, but they're down to the point where they need a touchdown, don't they?
Yeah, normally, you know me. I mean, you've been around me for a while now, right?
Unfortunately.
I'm sorry about that. Normally, I'm the one preaching patience.
Yeah.
You know, take your time, first half, you still got a chance. I think they're out of patience here. This has to be a drive that gets a touchdown. So if you're the play caller, you're going to that portion of the sheet that says big-time plays, specials, anything you can use to get yourself back into it.
The final 2 quarters of the NFL regular season are upon us as the second half of Week 17 is underway. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line.
Get ready. Get ready.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. They built a good first-half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made. And he is in. Touchdown, Chicago. Traquan Smith, his first touchdown on the year as his guys continue to pour it on. And nothing too crazy there. A quick slant, and then he just had a seam. He found a seam.
And when you hit it on the run like that, and I mean the pass right to the receiver who's already in motion and moving, sometimes he just takes it and runs away from everyone else.
And he ran it into the end zone. And the defense, they've got to adjust there quickly. That's tough on them.
That's really tough because everything was executed well. Ball was out of his hands quickly, into the hands of the receiver, and then he was gone.
Pretty clean and simple there. Just 2 plays. The long pass resulting in the touchdown on play number 2. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So here comes the Raiders offense getting ready for their first possession of the second half. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5.
I got you, boy.
Here's Hyde. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. That one good for 13 and a Raider first down. So following the run by Hyde, here's 1st and 10.
We're good.
To throw, it's Carr. Rush coming, and he's taken down. David Onyemata in there to get him, and on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him. After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. A 10th carry for Hyde, and he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage.
Oh, yeah.
It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down.
Yes, indeed. That play there, that reminds me of some of the guys that I played with that have that suddenness, able to get into the backfield almost about the time the ball snapped and make a play. How about that tackle for a loss?
Absolutely. He did a lot of that last week when he was named the NFC Defensive Player of the Week. One of the guys on the team was saying, hey, yeah, we called him the disruptor, and that's carrying forward again.
Makes sense, doesn't it?
Another drive comes and goes, still nothing on the scoreboard.
Yeah, and when the second half comes, you know, it's real easy to get discouraged and wonder if you're ever going to get things started. You just got to fight through it. Got to keep pounding away.
A big kick that time, 52 yards. And out will come the offense as they take over.
Ready. 10, touchdown. 54, Mike. Get your swerve on. Ready.
They'll run on 1st down. Swift. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down. Eluding the pressure right. Thomas has got it. Complete. And he's into the clear. Touchdown, Chicago.
Touchdown.
Michael Thomas 84 yards as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. As he was shuffling right out of the pocket, you could just tell he was going to take a shot downfield. He had his eyes down there the whole way.
He certainly did. He wasn't taking off to go, right? When he was flush from the pocket, a lot of times you see him, eyes will drop, ball will get tucked, and he takes off, becomes a running back. But as you noted, stayed alive as a passer, tremendous body control, and a pretty good arm there, too.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And now Oakland ready to take the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these try to get it to Williams, but it's intercepted. Picked off at the 30, and his guys are going to get the football at the 28-yard line. And he may want to track down that football because that's interception number 1 on his career.
You're saying that's going into the trophy case? Yeah, no doubt about it. That's when you ask the equipment guys to make sure they hold it for you after the game. But if you play in the back 7 on defense, that's part of your job, finding ways to take the ball away from the other team.
Dave, baby. Mike's 54.
On second down now, Swift, and he's dropped just before the line to gain. 4-yard pickup leaves him with 3rd and 1. They'll keep it on the ground. Swift. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9.
Let's go, boy.
And they're going to hurry back to the line now.
Check Mike 50. Orbit. Mike 54.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he is in. Touchdown, Chicago.
Finish strong.
A great effort there. His second TD of the game and 16th on the season. And his guys capitalize on the short field as they take it in for 6. Lutz with the extra point, and the lead will swell by 1 more. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now the Oakland offense heading back onto the field to take over. They've got to dig down deep. I mean, they need something right now, really anything to cling on to. This offense has struggled.
Partner, join me in a walk to their locker room at the half, okay? Because I think what we would have seen is an offensive coordinator and his assistant coaches getting together all their positions, then coming together as a group, going over adjustments, and then the head coach coming in and just screaming, wake up. Yeah. Let's get moving, guys.
I'm kind of glad we weren't in there at halftime, actually.
I mean, you think you might have turned it on us, too?
Yeah, but right now, whatever was said hasn't been working. And the movement there coming from the middle of the line.
And you understand he wants to get off the ball quickly, but the ball's right in front of him. He has to watch it and be first.
And his rough afternoon continues. He's going nowhere again. They'll say no gain on the play there, and now it'll be 3rd down. From the gun now on 3rd down, Carr.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can. Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? Zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
Here's the Raiders punter now. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. Here comes Grant on the return. A field position changer there. 49 yards on the punt. Couple that with a loss on the return. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. And last time out, another touchdown. And I think there may be some empty seats around here by the time the 4th quarter comes around.
Yeah, I have to agree with you because this was just about decided. But you know who benefits from all those empty seats? Who? You and me, trying to get to the airport.
That's
the roads
true.
will be fairly clear
that is
by the time we have to
positive.
leave the booth.
Here's a 2nd and 7.
3rd quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out. But a running game can really benefit your team right now.
They'll wind up with positive yardage. It's a gain of 3, but now it's 3rd down. And the Raiders call on a nickel set for 3rd down. Operating from the gun, Bryant. And that'll be incomplete. Well, they took their shot all right, but it comes up empty, and it's 4th down. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed if there's contact coming from both sides.
Now a loose football. The ball comes out, and the Raiders pick it up. And he's into the end zone. It's a fumble return for 6 and a Raider touchdown. And at this point, after that return for a touchdown, I guess the only thing is you're asking what else could go wrong.
Not only that, I think that between the two of us, we thought this was over before. I believe now it's really over.
Bryant's extra point up and good. So they do get one score back, but still a long way to go here in the third quarter. So not only the cough up, but then the pickup on the other side, the scoop, and the score the other way, the fumble return for a touchdown. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line.
We're going to work. Let's go.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, I feel like you can take the spirit away from another team. Their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
It's still third quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
A good pickup there, 26 yards.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
Yeah, he's got it. And they corral him just a couple yards shy of the end zone. That catch, I believe, will put him right at 200 yards for the game. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Chicago.
Oh, yeah, that's the score, baby.
It's their quarterback scoring on the 2-yard keeper as his guys continue to pour it on. Well, Charles, he's already proven that he's not afraid to tuck that football down on the option, and he's into the end zone for the second time in the game.
And that's exactly what you need from your quarterback, the ability to run the ball fearlessly. And, in fact, many quarterbacks will tell you running the football doesn't scare them. Standing in the pocket and taking blindside hits, that's what terrifies them.
Let's go.
Trying to get one more in here before the quarter breaks.
54. I know he ain't got it. That's it.
Carr now on first down. That's complete to his tight end, Waller. And he's upended at the 33 following a good pickup of 8. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. Back now here on EA Sports. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the fourth quarter. A very one-sided affair. Throwing again on second down. Carr.
Let's go, D. That's what I'm talking
We've been
about,
around
D.
this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. Now throwing on third down there, but he cannot connect. Another incompletion. You know, it's a wonder he's still moving around back there the number of times he's been sacked.
Yeah, he's staying out there, isn't he? And you don't think about it much in a game like this, but he's showing incredible leadership. Still competing, still fighting, not taking himself out of a ball game that appears lost.
Very good return that time. 18 yards.
Let's go. Let's do this.
Here's the Chicago offense coming back out onto the field. We find ourselves here in the midst of a one-sided affair. A lot of fill time down the stretch, Mr. Davis.
So we could talk about food because that is something that you and I both enjoy.
We share that.
We enjoy our time at the table. So maybe the best steakhouses in the city, but in all seriousness, the performances that we've seen this year, we've seen a bunch of great ones, and it's going to be hard to parse who's going to win the MVP?
Yeah, it really is.
Is it going to be a runner? Is it going to be a thrower? Can a defender finally win it this season? Those are the things that we'll probably discuss.
And collectively, this is about as dominant of a performance as you could have hoped for on both sides of the football.
Might have to put it number one for what we've seen this season.
And I think we can get used to seeing more of that in this fourth quarter, especially if they're having success on the ground like they did there.
Yeah, I think back when we met with the head coach in preseason, and all he talked about was building a bully. And I think it was this situation he was envisioning. Trying to ice a game, plenty of time left, but being able to give the ball to his big runner and pound away and try and finish off a game.
A big pickup of 38. And he is in. Touchdown, Chicago. A 16-yard touchdown run as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. So another score there, and often you talk about the three phases of the game: defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a fourth phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
They are looking strong here in the fourth quarter. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And now Oakland ready to take the field. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that.
Curls, check curls, check curls.
Carr again here on 2nd and 10. And he drops it incomplete. And their struggles continue here. The Raiders on 3rd down. A pretty anemic, a very anemic. 1 for 9 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. And now the 3rd down throw incomplete as well. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense that's well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure, the backside being ball hawks and picking passes off.
And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. Touchdown, Chicago. Covered a lot of ground there, 81 yards. On the punt return as his guys continue to pour it on. Lutz good on the extra point, and that will extend this big lead. Well, it's no secret. That's why they have him return punts. He has the capability to take them back, and he did so there. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Raiders offense now, they trot back out. And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting, because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive.
Carr now on 1st down. And his throw is incomplete. Tight end Irv Smith, the intended receiver. That'll bring up 2nd down. Now Carr, after the incomplete pass, brings him up second and 10.
We got three.
Throwing again. Carr. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be third down. The Raiders on third down. Not getting the job done at all. A very poor 1 for 10. This is 3rd and 10. He'll find his tight end. That's Waller. 30. 10. And he is in. Touchdown, Raiders. Darren Waller with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Raiders are able to eat just a bit into this sizable deficit.
And that touchdown, well, it barely puts a dent in this lead. And unfortunately, I'm having too many flashbacks right now. I'm playing before.
Oh, yeah? College, high school?
College. Not a heck of a lot of fun. I still remember playing and trying to tackle an elusive tailback who ended up scoring 4 touchdowns, 226 yards. He scored so many times and had so many great runs, I knew every note to their school's fight song.
Bet that ice bath felt extra cold afterwards, too.
Oh, no, there was no ice bath. You're just trying to get out of there before the reporters got to you.
And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup? Let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. You know, these guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game. And that's always puzzled me a little bit.
And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. A first down there on a pickup of 25. What a boost for this offense that he can throw in a run like that after the success that he's had throwing the football.
I love that, being able to mix in something a little bit different just when you're starting to think that's all you're going to see. He changed it up, flipped the script on him, and boy, did it work to his offense's benefit.
It'll be a pickup of 5 on the keeper. It's second down. And now it looks like they're going to be in the hurry-up. 2nd and 5. He throws and he hits the slant route to Thomas. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle comes at the Raiders' 18. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. Looking for Thomas, but that's intercepted. Picked off by Joejuan Williams. And the return just out across the 15 to the 16-yard line. He was trying to hit Thomas that time. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
A good pickup there, 21 yards. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
Mike's 54.
Shotgun now for Carr. Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone. Now Carr, after the incomplete pass, brings him up 2nd and 10.
He's tight on the right. 3 down.
To throw again. Carr. Now this will be caught. Tyrell Williams. And he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Raider football as we get you reset. They've got a 1st and 10 as they search for a late score. Carr going to throw. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by Eli Apple. The 20. 10. And he will score. Touchdown, Chicago. Defensively, they've had their way in this one. That pick six makes that scoreboard even more lopsided.
I remember talking with a guy in the league, and I said, what do you do when the game's like this? You know, it's pretty much over. You ready to go to the bench and hang out? He said, oh, heck no. I want to stay on the field. I might get some stats. Might get a pick or two.
You like being out there at the end of these wide margins.
When they have to throw it, that gives you more opportunities to go get it.
This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Raiders offense now, they trot back out. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches,
be honest.
Don't forget today. Don't forget what has happened out here.
Use that as ammo.
Exactly. Take a great look at that scoreboard. Realize how poorly everything went for us today. Coaching, playing, the whole deal. And
look at this. Middle of the field, a breakaway. And somewhat of a measure of revenge as he's in for the touchdown. But they still trail big time.
He'll take it, but he won't be able to smile about it.
Not a whole lot to recap on that drive. Just one play, 75 yards to the house.
Yeah, it's a long way to go. Remember, rarely is it a straight line 75 yards, too. Got to have a little extra in there. So whatever the final number is, a well-deserved seat on the bench, a little oxygen if he wants it as well.
Fielded about a yard deep. And the decision to bring it out is going to cost him about 7 yards all told as he's taken down back shy of the 20. Here's the Chicago offense coming back out onto the field. And a few kneel downs should just about do it. Now, defensively, they do have all 3 timeouts, but very little reason to use them at this point. Here's a throw that's taken in out of the backfield. 5 yards on the pickup, and that'll make it a second down. And to give this time to the tailback.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
Let's go.
That one a first down pickup of 8. Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. They're going to snuff this play out behind the line. We have not seen that much today. Now, offense going to use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this.
Hey, pick it up, defense. Let's go.
Stepping up, he's going to keep it. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. A gain of 13, it's a first down. So 2 first downs, and that moves the ball to the 42 now, first and 10.
You don't want it.
It'll be a pickup of 5 on the keeper. It's second down. And now they're in the hurry up. And now he'll tuck it and run. And he'll get it down to the 47 here. And what are the whistles for? Timeout. So they'll stop the clock here in a game that's been decided in the closing seconds. All runs on this drive so far. It's first and 10. Now it looks like he'll throw here. It's caught. Smith.
Let's go, boys. Bring it up.
Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feel like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for the home team here, it's a big win here as they move to 11-4 now in the year. And now they'll await the final seeding for the playoffs ahead.